Hare Krishna Mataji Dandat. Thank you so much for joining the class. All glories to wonderful services. Thank you so much, Anita Mataji, for wonderful recitation. Haribol.
Thank you, Prabhu, for your wonderful services.
Is there anybody else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Sunil Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to all the assembled devotees on the call, and a happy Ekadashi to everyone. This is Harita from Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandat. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call every day. Happy Ekadashi to all.
Hare Krishna, Sunil Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for taking up this service today. This is Chinmay Vraj Priya Devitasi.
Hare Krishna Chinmay Mataji Dandat. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you, Mataji, for giving me this opportunity. Welcome to the call. Haribol.
Sunil Prabhu, shall I start recording? You may read the words for the day,
Yes,
and then
Mataji.
we'll wait for Prabhu and I can get started after he joins, okay?
Yeah. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are very fortunate to have with us His Grace Ramgiridhari Prabhu. Will be enlightening us the topic of Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya khanda, chapter number 9, from verse number 91 to 110. We'll wait till Prabhuji joins.
You want to read Srila Prabhupada's quote?
Yes, Mataji, 1 second. Hare Krishna. Shiva is dahi and Krishna is milk. Dahi, the preparation of dahi, that you take milk, pure milk, and mix it with little sour thing. Then it becomes dahi. Similarly, Krishna is pure spirit, and when this pure spirit is mixed up with Maya, that is Shiva. This was instruction given by His Divine Grace in Hyderabad, April 13, 1975.
Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhuji is here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Dandat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining, for enlightening us on the Chaitanya Bhagavat, chapter number 9, from verse number 91 to 110. We are looking forward for your session. Over to you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, Prabhuji, audible.
Okay. I'm on a slightly slower connection here. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So we are reading from Caitanya Bhagavata, Antya khanda, chapter 9, text number 91 onwards. The chapter 9 is the glories of Advaita, and from shloka number 91 through 110 we'll be discussing today. दामोदर पंडित आए रे दे की भारे गिया चिला आए दे की आयला सत्वरे. After going to Navadvipa to see Mother Sachi, Damodar Pandita quickly returned to Nilachala. Damodara deki Prabhu aniya nibrute ayira vrittanta lagilena jignasite. When the Lord saw Damodara, he took him to a secluded place and inquired from him about Mother Sachi. प्रभु बोले तुम ये आचिला ताना काचे सत्य कहा आयरा की विष्णु भक्ति आचे. The Lord asked, you stayed with my mother. Now tell me the truth. Does she have devotion to Lord Vishnu? Parama tapasvi nirapeksha dhamodaram suni krodhe lagile nakarita uttaram. On hearing this question, Damodara Pandita, who was very austere and impartial, became angry and replied, Ki balila goshai aira bhakti ache, iha o jignasa prabhu tumi kon kaje. O Lord, what did you say? Are you asking whether your mother has any devotion? Text 96. Aira prasade se tomara Vishnu bhakti yata kichu tomara sakala tandra shakti. It is by your mother's mercy that you have devotion for Vishnu. Whatever you have is by her potency. Yate ka tomara Vishnu bhaktira udayam aira prasade saba janiha nischayam. Know for certain that whatever devotion for Vishnu you have is by her mercy. Ashru kampasveda murcha pulaka hunkara yate ka achaya Vishnu bhaktira vikara kshaneka aira dehe nahika viramam niravadi shrivadane spure Krishna namam. Transformations of love for Vishnu, like crying, shivering, perspiring, fainting, standing of hairs on end, and loudly roaring, are constantly visible on the body of Mother Sachi, and she is always chanting the holy name of Krishna. Aira Bhaktira Kata Jignasa Gosai Vishnu Bhakti Are Bhale Seidhe Kai. O Lord, you have asked about the devotion of Mother Sachi. It is Mother Sachi who is addressed as devotional service to Vishnu. Murtimati Bhakti Ai Kahila Tomare Janiya O Maya Kari Jignasa Amare. I tell you, she is the embodiment of devotional service to Vishnu. Although you know this, you ask me as if you did not know. Prakrita Shabdeo Yeva Bali Beka Ai Sabda Prabhave Tara Dukanai. If even someone who considers the word I, an ordinary word, utters this word, by the influence of that sound, he is freed from all distress. Damodara Mukhe Suni Aira Mahimam Gaura Chandra Prabhu Anandera Nahi Simam. On hearing the glories of Mother Sachi from the mouth of Damodara Pandita, the happiness of Lord Gaurachandra increased without limit. Commentary by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. When the Lord asked Damodara Pandita how much devotion to Krishna his mother had after being separated from her son, Damodara Pandita glorified the devotional activities of Sachi Devi. When Mahaprabhu heard this, he became extremely joyful. Damodara Panditere Dhari Prema Rase Punah Punah Alingana Karena Santoshe. Absorbed in the mellows of ecstatic love, the Lord repeatedly embraced Damodara Pandita with satisfaction. Aji Damodara Tumi Amare ki Nila Manera Vrittantayata Amare Kahila. O Damodara, today you have purchased me, for you have confirmed what was in my heart. Yata Kichu Vishnu Bhakti Sampati Amara Aira Prasade Sabadvidana Hitaram. Whatever asset of devotion to Vishnu I have is by my mother's mercy. There is no doubt about it. Tahanai Chayami Achon Pritivite Tanadranami Kabu Nariba Sudhite. I am living in this world by her will, therefore I will never be able to repay her. Aistane Badami Sunadhamodaram Aire Dekite Ami Aji Nirantaram. O Damodara, please listen. I am always bound by her affection and I always see her. Damodara Panditere Prabhu Kripa Kari Bhakta Goshti Sange Vasilena Gaurahari. After blessing Damodara Pandita in this way, Gaurahari sat down with his devotees. Airaye Bhakti Ache Jignasa Ishware Sve Sekevala Siksha Karayena Jagatere. The Lord's inquiry about Mother Sachi's devotion was only to teach the people of this world. Commentary by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It is to be understood that Mahaprabhu's pastime of inquiring from Damodara about Sachi Devi's devotion to Krishna was meant for teaching people. This pastime was manifested to reveal how affectionately the Lord's servants serve him and how the Lord becomes controlled by their love. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So it is so wonderful to hear the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are coming to the fag end of Chaitanya Bhagavata, where so many finer, intricate details of Mahaprabhu's wonderful pastimes are being discussed. It is very emotional as well as glorious when we hear the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with such intimacy with his dearest devotees. As Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur have noted here about the emotions and concern that the Lord is having for his dear devotees is so special that just by knowing how much the Lord loves his dearest devotees and how much the dearest devotees love the Lord, we get so much motivation as well as so much emotions, knowing that this is that Lord, this Supreme Lord, to whom we should be serving. We are not serving because of our own conditioning. The Lord is loving us. The Lord is loving those who is loving him. The Lord is loving to make sure that we love him back and leave this place. The most important point that we need to note here is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Krishna himself. But he is playing the role of a devotee, being concerned about not just the welfare of our existence, he is also concerned about welfare of our transformation, how much we have transformed. He has come down, Krishna has come down, trying his every possible strategy to win us back, as genuinely a parent would try to win back their offspring, their children. So this current context is so wonderful, and this is the standard of devotional sentiments, devotional love, devotional relationships, absolutely based on our Krishna consciousness and not just based on some externals. As usual, we are going to churn this context to learn some sets of lesson for our personal life. My first lesson is that as much as the Lord as Bhakta, Bhagavan, he has exhibited his love for his beloved mother, and the reciprocation between Damodar Pandita and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can extrapolate this in the activities of self-realized souls. So the sentiment, relation, emotion exhibited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very much, and if I can say this, to one notch up is what the emotions and sentiments of His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada towards the people in general and specifically towards his dearest devotees. And what love and emotions and sentiments Srila Prabhupada had for his students, Srila Prabhupada's students are having for Srila Prabhupada, so much so that they are living their life only for Srila Prabhupada. In my 35 years of my being in Krishna consciousness, whatever I have understood or not understood, but one thing very clearly I have understood is when we are clasping the lotus feet of servants of Srila Prabhupada's servants, the reciprocation comes from the Lord. The more you clasp and go closer to please the servants of the Supreme Lord or servants of Srila Prabhupada for that matter, so we get a very wonderful reciprocation. Yogyata vichare kichu nahi pai tomara karuna chara karuna na hoile kandiya kandiya prana na rakhi boara. So by our own qualification we are not so qualified, but when we understand the mercy that are coming our way, we can really realize how fortunate we are to be part of this wonderful Sankirtan movement. I want to share a few anecdotes to substantiate these points. They are all personal realizations of mine. So they are very, real from my side. How much others are able to connect to this, it may be information for others, but for me, these are all my personal experiences. Recently, I have been having service opportunities to work with the Congregation Development Ministry. And because of that, there's a lot of personal discussions, interactions with His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. So recently, Jayapataka Maharaj came to Navi Mumbai last week, and he shared a very interesting story. I'm not sure if I have shared in this forum. I don't think so, because after Jayapataka Maharaj came, maybe just now only I'm, having a call with you all. So he mentioned how the holy name is powerful, but I had additional realizations apart from holy name is powerful, which I will tell at the end of the story. So we were discussing about how and all, where all congregation preaching has to spread, to whom all we should preach, the strategy for congregation development ministry, so many things we were speaking. And he said one story from the jail in Malaysia. It's a long story, but I'm just telling the context here. He said that there was a prisoner in a jail in Malaysia who was given death penalty, hang until death. But because of some preaching happening inside the prison, so this person with death penalty developed some devotion for Krishna, and eventually he came up to the level that he asked Jayapataka Maharaj to initiate him. He came to Jayapataka Maharaj and asked, "Will you initiate me?" And Maharaj said, "Okay." And he initiated him. And in the process, this prisoner, he became so sincere and serious in the jail. He started to preach not only to the other prisoners, but also to the guards in the jail. So much so that the guard's heart got transformed and recommended him to reduce his punishment from death penalty to life imprisonment. And then he continued his preaching in the prison for some more days to such an extent that the guards got convinced that there's no more criminal mentality left in him, that he is so clean and pure that he should not be in the prison, he should be released from the jail. And that person is going out and preaching to so many people and asking them to take up Krishna consciousness. So when Jayapataka Maharaj mentioned this, I got so emotional because holy name is powerful, but the mercy shown by a Vaishnava towards fallen suffering souls is all the more glorious, and the combination has done wonders. So my point of reflection over here is this transcendental sentiments for winning souls to the lotus feet of Krishna and making sure that somehow or other these souls don't suffer but subscribe Krishna consciousness is something is so wonderful of this Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Of so many wonderful things, the compassion, the mercy, the munificency that is shown by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all the way down to there's so many stories, but because here Mahaprabhu's heart goes towards Sachi Mata's devotion, knowing that she is already devotional, she is great, she is glorious, but just by enacting this small sentiment, he is giving so many messages for us to realize that in our lives, how much are we concerned? How much are we interested in making sure our near and dear ones, including us, for ourselves, we are Krishna conscious? We were in Vrindavan in the year 2002, and this was Prabhupada's Disappearance Day celebration was going on. This was the Silver Jubilee celebrations for Srila Prabhupada's disappearance. So on the Disappearance Day, there were 4 days of Prabhupada Katha. That's the first time in my life I had the opportunity to hear Srila Prabhupada's Katha for such a long time at a stretch for 4 days. So on the day of Prabhupada's disappearance, there was a huge Maha Abhishek was planned. And the program was going a little bit tight on schedule. And one after the other, different speakers came, different servants of Prabhupada, they came and was sharing the pastimes. So 12:30 was Abhishek, and we were already at 12 o'clock, very late, at least 10 more speakers are waiting. So Dhananjay Prabhu, who was the MC, was literally, hurrying everybody up and giving everybody 2 minutes only. So I was witness to this, I was personally there. So one Mataji, she came up to stage, Prabhupada's disciple, I don't know her name. She came up to the stage and she came, offered her obeisances to Srila Prabhupada and asked in the mic, does anyone in the audience have clean, unused water bottle? So we were all wondering that, she's supposed to give her offering to Srila Prabhupada and what is she doing here? But somebody came running, maybe she wanted water. They came running with a fresh glass of, fresh water bottle. Then she said, is anyone having a clean glass, unused glass, that can be, used? So I was sitting in the second or third row and I'm seeing everybody's face. We were all perplexed. It's like 12:05 and we are late. And Dhananjay Prabhu was not sure how to react. Then somebody suddenly, because of the came running with the glass and she poured the water. And there was a Prabhupada's deity, Prabhupada's Murti, that was kept on the stage. She went close to Srila Prabhupada and kept the glass of water next to Srila Prabhupada and came to the microphone and said, for the past several hours, Srila Prabhupada has been hearing us and maybe he's thirsty, he didn't have water. In the entire crowd, so many programs were going on. She is witnessing from there that maybe Prabhupada would need water, and she kept the water and came to the microphone and said, if you ever wanted to know what is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami to all of us, to know about his glories, please speak to his dearest servants. And she said, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and left. That gave me a very strong impression in my heart. That's all she did. But three things I learned from that. Number one, in the heart of Prabhupada's disciples, Prabhupada is never gone. He is always there. I always thought Prabhupada is gone. He's in the photo picture and they're supposed to worship. But for those who are servants of Srila Prabhupada, not Prabhupada was, Prabhupada is still hearing. Number two, she mentioned that if you want to understand what Prabhupada's love, please speak to his disciples, which means how much Srila Prabhupada has invested his love in cultivating his devotees. The third and most important thing that I realized is that Krishna consciousness is not just some philosophical informations. It is absolutely about how much we are love and care for our near and dear ones in Krishna conscious. And it's a very personal movement. It is not an impersonalism. Everything is personal. And the way we have, grown all these days is because some devotees have been personal to us. The reason I'm sharing this in this first reflection is Mahaprabhu, we know where this all personal, things are coming. It is coming from there. How Mahaprabhu has technically taught spirituality, but how he emotionally, sentimentally, spiritually lived his life, embracing his near and dear ones, investing love in them, and reciprocating for their love. So, this is number two. Number three, and the last one for the first reflection is today morning we had our routine executive council call of the CDM, Congregation Development Ministry. And as always, Jayapatak Maharaj came with a surprise. So he joins whenever he is available, but today he joined the call. And we had so many discussions for 1 hour. He was in the call. We were discussing so many things. At the last 5 minutes before, I was giving some, request saying that I wrote a big email. I have not yet received a response or whatever that is. Something at all I just said out of my own arrogance. So that's when Jayapatak Maharaj servant who was, helping us repeat what Maharaj mentioned. He said, Jayapatak Maharaj, yesterday he wrote a big email. He got up 3 a.m. in the morning and recorded for 22 minutes, 17 seconds, one shot, a detailed response for whatever we have asked for. We have been asking him some questions, some help, some clarification, some guidance. So when I heard that, I felt that, wow, what a wonderful father, wonderful, company, association that Krishna has provided to make us serious in our Krishna consciousness. So at 3 a.m., he recorded message so that we, servants of him, are able to function, do our service in much more enthusiastic manner for the Sankirtan mission. So he is giving his time, every moment of his time, to win the fallen souls. So they are all walking examples. What we did not get to see in action that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did towards his near and dear ones, we can see that is still happening right now in our own era through the lives of the servants of Srila Prabhupada. So, my dear Prabhus and Matajis, I want to summarize my first reflection by saying that this Krishna consciousness movement is a movement with full of loving devotion, sentiments, and loving relationships. And with only these three things, we will be able to enjoy the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, philosophy will just remain there and we will not be able to get that necessary taste. So let us learn to love our seniors. Let us learn to love our spiritual authorities. Let us learn to love our fellow devotees. Let us learn to express our heart out in telling them how much they mean to us. And in return, all we are going to get is ecstatic transcendental happiness. And to confirm this, I just wanted to quote Srila Prabhupada's statement from Nectar of Devotion, chapter 14, first paragraph, which I have quoted at least 15 times in this class, several classes. Knowledge and renunciation can take us in our spiritual life up till one level. But sentiments and sincerity towards devotees is going to take us the remaining part. So, what sentiments we carry? So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's sentiments for his beloved devotees and his beloved devotees' sentiments towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why Prabhupada says this subject matter of Chaitanya Charitamrita is not meant for neophytes. It can be only understood when we have at least crossed certain levels of devotional emotions in our devotional journey. So this is my first reflection from this current context of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata. Number two is about what both Damodara Pandita as well as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what they mentioned about the loving devotion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming from Sachi Mata. So my second reflection is about Sachi Mata's love for Nimai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and I want to extrapolate in terms of mother's love for a Krishna conscious journey. So that's my second reflection. So there is a beautiful song glorifying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sachi Mata's love. This is a very, very good song composed by Vasudev Ghosh. This song is a small song. I'll just sing this because it's part of the mother's love and how the bonding has happened from Sachi Nimai to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sachi Mata. So that journey and how Mahaprabhu was feeling for Sachi Mata. The song is called Sachira Anginai Nache. Bhaktichar Maharaj sings this song beautifully. Sachira Anginai Nache Vishwambarai Hasi Phiri Maere Lukai Vayane Basana Diya Bale Lukainu Sachi Bole Vishwambar Amina Dekinu Maere Anchaladari Chanchala Charane Nachiya Yae Kanchana Gamane Vasudeva Ghosh Kahe Aparupa Shobha Sishurupa Deki Hai Jagamana Lobha. In the courtyard of Sachi Mata, the child Vishwambara Rai plays, smiling and giggling. He goes from one place to another, hiding from his mother. Covering himself with his cloth, he says, I am hiding. Sachi Mata says to Vishwambara, I don't see you. Holding the edge of his mother's sari, he dances about on tottering feet in the skittish manner of a wagtail. Vasudeva Gosha says, such extraordinary beauty, seeing the child form of Nimai, the whole world becomes infatuated. This song, the reason I am singing is, from that time, Sachi Mata is investing so much love in Nimai, and Nimai has been reciprocating to that love to, Mother Sachi Mata, that he is having an extraordinary bonding with her. We know Sachi Mata is Yashoda Maiya from her, Nitya Leela. And the bonding between Yashoda Maiya and Krishna is so special that both are possessive towards each other. Both are particular towards each other. Both have such a bonding that one doesn't want to live without the other. And when Nimai became Krishna Chaitanya, and when he became Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and took sannyas and was about to leave, Sachi Mata wept and wept and wept and wept and wept, and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also cried and pleaded Sachi Mata to let him go for his mission. And Sachi Mata let Chaitanya Mahaprabhu go to Jagannath Puri, to go for his mission on one condition, that may he choose to stay not too far away from her. So, on her request, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made Jagannath Puri as his base. And as much as Sachi Mata wanted to regularly keep a check on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept this as a routine, because devotees used to regularly come from Bengal to Jagannath Puri for Rath Yatra and various festivals. So he keep inquiring. So this exchange of inquiry from Sachi Mata about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sachi Mata, this was so special. That is just not an ordinary mother-child relationship. In this modern world, every situation or every notorious, bad, good, ugly, every life of people, one thing you will see is real or emotional or sentimental, or people really want to, they have wet eyes when they discuss about their motherly love and mother's reciprocation. So Prabhupada explains that the real attachment, how Krishna have for us, if you want to understand, in this material world, there is no equivalent of what is the transcendental love that is between Krishna and his dear devotees. We may not be able to comprehend, but if you want to get a glimpse of it, just an understanding of it, what it looks like, what greatness of that love that we get in Goloka Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada says, a mother's love for the child, a mother's genuine love for the genuine child. I'm using this word carefully because the modern day scenario is slightly changing. So maybe this example will become obsolete after a point in time because things are going completely, animalistic now. But then some of us who are, having little gray hair and bald hair, we know what it was in terms of having a family bond, how our parents loved us, invested their time and energy to make us, devotional. So at this moment, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is offering his namaskar, glorification, appreciation for Sachi Mata, it is a duty for each and every one of us in this forum to not only offer our respects to Sachi Mata, because Vrindavan Das Thakura is writing here, just by uttering the word Sachi Mata, just by uttering the word the mother of Nimai, we also get benefit. And in addition to that, if I can say, let us also thank our parents who have helped us to come this far. So both the material parents, in the sense the parents who gave us birth, as well as the father who has accepted us and gave us rebirth. So to all of those parents, we are offering our namaskar. My mother used to always tease me because I am an arrogant one to sometimes go and flaunt around. So she used to say, don't flaunt around too much. You are Krishna conscious only because of me. Because when you were in the womb, I used to go to every temple and pray that may the child in the womb be a devotee. She must have prayed to so many gods, so many demigods, so many sadhus. I'm so indebted that such a prayer has helped us walk this path. How much ever tough it may be, at least we are still walking, hoping that we will be able to make it with all the other support systems that we have, like you all. And I'm sure every one of you have this story. So do Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada used to say that I am Krishna consciousness because of my father. Because my father always wanted me to be the servant of Srimati Radharani. So that's a very famous video where Srila Prabhupada says, when he was playing Mridanga, and he used to stop there and smile, saying that my father always wanted me to become like this, meaning singing Krishna's glories. So my conclusion of the second reflection is that the relationship between a mother and a child, or relationship between a parent and a child, and the responsibility from the child to the mother is just not bodily, it is way beyond bodily. So this small gesture of conversation that happened here triggers a very important question, that are you thankful enough to your parents, to your guardian who has brought you to Krishna consciousness? And are you reciprocating your love towards them, surrendering yourself for their welfare because they gave spirituality to us. The point here is, I am not sure if you know the ongoing statistics. The number of old age homes are increasing rapidly as much as divorces are increasing rapidly. The scariest part is that in our old age, but for Krishna consciousness, where is our hope? Where will we go? We will be living with dogs and cats. We'll be left alone, nobody to inquire about us. But in Krishna consciousness, the loving emotion invested is so wonderful. It is important, it is invested in such a manner that we look after our parents, look after our beloved parents, both the ones who have given us birth as well as the ones who are nurtured us in Krishna consciousness. We should be serving them. We have a responsibility towards them, not just physical responsibilities or financial responsibilities. We have devotional responsibilities towards them. So as much as they helped us, as much as they sowed the seed, as much as they were particular in our coming in Krishna consciousness, in whatever capacity, different people will have different stories in different ways. But bottom line is, most of us, at least all of us in this current age, when we are in our 35, 40, 50, our upbringing were nice and glorious. I'm sure our parents upbringing would have been much more better, but then in the technology space we may have grown better than before, but in our tradition, in our culture, in our spirituality, I'm not sure, if not for Sankirtan movement, if not for ISKCON, if not for this Gaudiya Vaishnavism, if not for this spirituality path, what other hope is there for us? So I want to conclude by saying, when Mahaprabhu is expressing his thanks to Sachi Mata, when Mahaprabhu is inquiring for welfare of Sachi Mata, not that he doesn't know that Sachi Mata is a devotee still, but Mahaprabhu's feeling for her, remembering about her, and trying to teach through that how much are we reciprocating, how much are we caring, how much are we supportive. Because unfortunately, the society is heading up towards a nuclear family setup. I'm not getting into the debate on correct, wrong, and all those things, but we are slowly going away from relationships. So much so that somebody said very soon they are going to say, when husband and wife are living together, it's going to be called joint family. So it has come to such a level that we are slowly moving away from sentiments and emotions that we need to show towards our near and dear ones. So I was just writing to Jayapataka Maharaj. We were discussing as a part of our strategy to who all we preach. So one of the areas that we were discussing is taking care of those who are at the stage of vanaprastha and little old. There's a big hollowness there. Meaning they are either left alone, longing for some care, or somehow or the other the necessary bonding that needs to be built. Because in this grahastha ecosystem, in the society overall, one is divorce, another is old age home. These two sides are so scary that what is left in between is simply raw sense gratification like an animal. So if you are not taking accountability for your married life, and if you are not taking responsibility for your towards your parents and near and dear ones, what is left? So it's like simply animal. So hence this section of Chaitanya Bhagavat, or this small gesture of Mahaprabhu's inquiring for mother, reminds us that we have an obligation, a responsibility, gratitude that we need to show towards our mother, father, our beloveds, with whose help we have come this far. And this is, if it is done from a Krishna consciousness motive, it is actually devotional service only, not some sort of bodily attachment. So may we set up a right example for our next generation, for the society at large, by giving necessary care for our devotional relationships and as well as our family relationships, because this Daiva Varnashrama that Srila Prabhupada wanted us to establish is based on how we are keeping Krishna in the center in doing all our activities with the help of our family, near and dear ones. The last reflection in this is about the very intricate small detail that Vrindavan Das Thakur is explaining, which actually Damodar Pandita is telling about Mother Sachi Mata's bodily expressions or reactions. So he is explaining that when he met Sachi Mata, how Sachi Mata was reacting to Krishna consciousness, the description itself is enough for anyone to understand what will Sachi Mata's ecstatic love, absorbed in the mellows of ecstatic love. So he is explaining that how Sachi Mata in the verse number 100, what the verses, I'm just trying to identify the verse where he's saying, verse 98 and 99, transformations of love for Vishnu, like crying, shivering, perspiring, fainting, standing of hairs on end, and loud roaring, are constantly visible on the body of Mother Sachi, and she is always chanting the holy name of Krishna. So this reflection is a bit technical and philosophical, because we are all trying to progress in Krishna consciousness. We are all trying to develop our devotional qualities. So I would like to mention that Sri Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, text number 13 through 20th, 12.13 to 12.20, those 9 verses, Krishna is telling 31 qualities. He is explaining after 31 qualities, each of the qualities, after explaining, these 31 qualities he has given in some few clusters. He mentions that when people have those qualities, they are very, very dear to me. So they are very dear to me, very dear to me, very dear to me, very dear to me. 12.13 to 12.20. Of course, 12.13 to 12.19. So every verse, he's telling people with these qualities are very dear to me. People with these qualities are very dear to me. People with these qualities are very dear to me. And 12.20, he is making a very interesting thing. He says, Dharmamritam idam yadoktam paryupashate Shraddadana mat parama bhaktaste tivame priya. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and completely engage with faith, making me the supreme goal, such devotees are very, very dear to me. Up till this sloka, from 13 through 19, in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna was explaining every shloka, such a devotee is very dear to me, such a devotee is very dear to me, such a devotee is very dear to me. And the last shloka he says, those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and complete engage with faith, making me the supreme goal. Such devotees are very, very dear to me. So in this shloka, two words are very important. Shraddha Dana, Mat Parama. With faith and making me the supreme goal. With faith, making me the supreme goal. With faith, making me the supreme goal are very, very dear to me. The reason I'm referring to this 31 qualities and the summary of that qualities as a 20th verse is that such a devotee who is very, very dear to Krishna, who has faith, absolute faith in Krishna, who makes Krishna as the supreme goal of life, will have these transcendental emotions, transformations, as described by Vrindavan Das Thakura in verse number 98 and 99. Crying, shivering, perspiring, fainting, standing of hairs on end, and loudly roaring are constantly visible. So, when we develop devotional qualities, when we develop our devotional sentiments towards the Supreme Lord, we also have certain symptoms that gets manifested. And these are all those symptoms. So we get to see when we are in the assembly of Vaishnavas, we better not just hear them and come, but we observe Vaishnavas very closely. When you observe Vaishnavas very closely, you will see that they are having transcendental loving exchanges with Krishna. I am right now in the holy Dham of Madurai. 3-4 days before, His Grace Jananivas Prabhu was here for some TOVP services. So I had the greatest fortune of having to discuss and spend some small quality time with Jananivas Prabhu. Thanks to Balaram Govinda Prabhu and his other servants, they allowed me to have lunch prasadam with Jananivas Prabhu. And it has been a long time to say. Of course, we have been taking his darshan, association, blessings, but this visit was very special. So we had good 1.5 hours with Jananivas Prabhu. We were having prasadam, and very closely, the personal quarters, very closely I was observing. He is one of the devotees whom I look up to before starting any class based on whatever lessons that I have learned in my life. I offer my obeisances, manasika namaskar, to few devotees in my life, because of whom my Krishna consciousness, I am still able to toiter. I'm still not stable, but whatever that I am. One of them is His Grace Jananivas Prabhu. So we had prasadam. Then we were around 4 devotees having prasadam. He finished early, but he was sitting, silently. Then one of the devotees were, mentioning that maybe Prabhu is asking if he can get up for the kind of devotional stature he is in. I mean, he doesn't need to, show any of those things. So he said, Prabhu, please, you don't wait for us. We will. And for first time in my life, I got Uchishta Mahaprasad of Jananivas Prabhu. And then we went to his quarters where he was, and we were discussing. Prabhu was telling some realizations. But when you very closely, apart from the philosophy, when you very closely observe, you get to see them, that their heart, thoughts, life, emotions, everything was centered around Krishna consciousness. This experiences of a personal company of self-realized soul, how much ever you describe, it is needed to be experienced. The reason I'm saying is we have lots of wonderful Vaishnavas around us. Please not only hear them, you take their company. In their company, you will get to learn a lot. Just observe them, how they talk, how they walk, what they talk, what they think, what are their priorities, how they keep things, how they observe things, every bit of it. So I gave a 5 minutes good pep talk to Jananivas Prabhu glorifying him. So much I said, I couldn't say. My voice was choked up, and because all through my years of devotion, respect, and love for him, this is the first time, or not first time, many times we spoke, but we spoke a little formally and just, finished our services, move on. But this time, I didn't have any agenda. I just want to simply, enjoy the company. So my voice was choked up and I couldn't say anything, but I said whatever I had to say. Prabhu, as always, humble. He said, thanks for all the flattering. So I'm saying the humility, the devotional sentiments. So to conclude, my third reflection is those 31 qualities which Krishna is explaining as the qualities needed for us to be performing devotional service. And that point number, the 20th verse of 12th chapter explaining about having Shraddha and making Krishna as the goal. That person is very, very dear to me. And such that person is Sachi Mata here, about whose transcendental qualities were explained. So such symptoms would manifest in such devotees. So please don't undermine Vaishnavas, living Vaishnavas who are around you. They carry so much of sentiments and devotion. But the secret is they don't reveal publicly, but in private forums, when you are in their close quarters, when you are able to please them, and they get pleased when they see you practicing Krishna consciousness. They get happy when they see you, progress in Krishna consciousness, and they then express their loving sentiments. So please don't miss those moments. Don't miss those. Those are all the situations which will help us sustain our Krishna consciousness. So these devotional qualities and their symptoms are not just a hype, they are real, but only those who are going through this journey of transformation will understand this. And we are all such candidates who has to understand. So better we buckle up and try to acquire the qualities that Krishna has recommended, so that we not only develop such sentiments and symptoms within us, we are able to recognize amongst our near and dear ones and get chance to serve them. So thank you all so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gaurnitha ki jai, Thai Gaurav Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. If there are any questions, comments, or reflections, I'll be happy to respond. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Dandat Pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for so beautiful nectar class. So many reflections. You are so fortunate, Prabhu, to get the Association of Maharaj and many other senior devotees like Jananivas, Prabhu. Please pray for all of us, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, if you have any questions, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for a very inspiring class. When I read the verses, when I heard the verses from you, I was thinking how you are going to talk about this, and it was very, very interesting, the entire class. It also gives us a reminder to recognize the contribution that our parents, and of course, those who have brought us into Krishna consciousness have done for us, and how Mahaprabhu actually wants to acknowledge that, and how this entire pastime unfolds. So thank you so much. And thanks for sharing your experiences with Jananivas Prabhu as well. Very grateful, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I myself was not sure how I was going to handle these verses, because every time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put me on the spot, and I was completely not sure, because I'm right now in Madurai running around for 20 things. And Preeti Vilasani Mataji is my examiner. Every now and then she puts me on the spot saying that today you have to take the class, and I have to simply obey her. I swear on the name of God, I wasn't sure. I didn't even read one bit of this verse before I just logged in and just read it with you all. But then just because I'm roaming around with these people, these emotions are filled. I mean, so I just poured my heart out. Not sure how relevant it was, but I think I get some grace pass marks for these slokas probably.
Prabhu, actually, thank you so much. Though you were scheduled on Tuesday, you gracefully and very happily agreed to do it today for our sake. And I was just thinking, every time we ask you last minute classes, you come up with such fantastic realizations. Some of your last moment classes are some of the best classes, Prabhu.
My
So
God.
thank you so much.
Don't test me like this, Mataji.
Real too.
Oh my God, if I fail, I'll fall flat and crash. So anyway, thank you so much for engaging us. Yes, tomorrow, actually, we are. I'm in Madurai. I've been telling that we are doing some projects in Madurai. So the last 2 years, 1.5 years, I've been coming here. So please give your blessings and prayers. Something is coming to a fruition now, and maybe the next class I will share the good news. But then we are in very nice progress have been happening. So maybe next class things would have happened by then. So I'll share with you all more good news. So it's very nice. It's very, very nice that in Krishna consciousness, the challenges are exciting, the pain is exciting, the association is exciting, the chastisement is exciting, everything is exciting. Just that you need to know that this is all not for you, this is for pleasing Krishna, then everything is glorious. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Your unprepared classes are always best. We have a question by His Grace Phalanananda Prabhu. Please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Okay. So I just wish to share a little bit of my personal, my mother's love for, my mother was not a very literate woman. She went up to the 7th standard in Gujarat, in olden time. But she was born in Dakordham, very near Ranchor temple. And she told at the time I got initiated by Guru Maharaj, she told, I didn't know that, she told him that, when this boy was inside, I read Bhagavatam to him. And I really felt so, I keep her photographs in my room, and I always bow down to her. Also my father, because he gave me Bhaj Govindam when I was in standard 7, and then he brought me Bhagavad Gita also. So, we are eternally indebted to such parents who give us the rare seed of Krishna Bhakti. So that's what I just wanted to share, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Haribol.
So wonderful, Prahlad Prabhu, for sharing this. And I guess we all should create such forum to express our gratitude to our, material parents who gave us birth, as well as all the spiritual parents who are nurturing us. We should create opportunities. It's like, for our Guru Maharaj, we do Vyasa Puja sometimes. But for our parents, I'm not sure what puja we do. But at least by remembering them, and not just remembering them, every possible opportunity, serve them. I'm very happy to hear this, and I hope this current generation, the next generation, they somehow make this old age home business go bonkers, completely failed. Let there will not be old age homes. Like, people make sure that they get their beloveds to look after them and give them devotional life. I guess that will be the biggest reciprocation that we'll be doing for our parents. Thank you so much, Pradhan Prabhu.
Then what, Prabhuji? Thank you,
Alright.
Haribol.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, what about if parents are not the devotees, Prabhu? Like
Still
they
we
didn't
are
help us.
still we are supposed to love them, care them. We have a responsibility. We have an important responsibility to make sure we serve them, because it's, I mean, they may have not given you Krishna consciousness, as much as you would hear her from Bhagavatam class, but the very life. Are you married, Prabhu?
No, Prabhu.
You get married and beget a child, you will no, you'll not need to ask this question, because you know what it means to be a parent. The day the person beget a child, their love for their parents, respect for their parents, respect for the mother who had been through labor, who had been through so much of ordeal to beget a child, is even materially it is a tapasya. So, and even if they are not devotees, we are supposed to serve them, supposed to look after them. I am saying that in the government norms, that the responsibility of the child is towards the parents, and the responsibility of parents should also be towards the child. Otherwise, we will have nuisance and nonsenses in the society. So it is our duty only. This is my understanding. There may be other. I mean, we cannot be in extraordinary renunciation mode like a sannyasi and doing tyaga. When you take sannyas, or anybody taking sannyas, that's when somebody else will take care. But otherwise, we are supposed to take care. Very much important that we are supposed to look after them. And maybe we don't subscribe. Can you just imagine what Prahlad Maharaj said to Narsingadev? For all that Hiranyakashipu did to Prahlad Maharaj, forget about all that. Even if 0.01% of what Hiranyakashipu did to Prahlad Maharaj, if any one of our near and dear ones had done to us, we would have gone to police and got them arrested, saying that I got a crackpot parent. But Prahlad Maharaj has so much torture received from Hiranyakashipu. After all that, he has told Narshingadev that please forgive my father. Whatever he has done out of ignorance. Please, can you forgive my father? Why Prahlad Maharaj is say? When Jagannath Mishra left this world, so we discussed this in Caitanya Bhagavata only. When Jagannath Mishra left this world, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is weeping. Tears of, tears are flowing from, it's just like a flow of river, it was like weeping. Why? Because the idea is that it's not just material external relationship, it is very important. So that's where the gratitude starts. If you are not grateful to them, I guess our devotional creeper will be a bit weak. Gratitude is very important.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a beautiful answer. If there are no more questions, can we end, Prabhu, with your permission?
Yes, we can end the class.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for wonderful class once again. Let us appear obeisances to Prabhuji. Vancha kalpatobhyasya kripa
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च
sindhu
कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च
एव च पतितानां
पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमः।
नमो नमः।
Ananta Koti
Vaishnava
कोटि
Vaishnava.
वैष्णववृंद
जय
की जय,
जय
श्रील
प्रभुपाद
प्रभुपाद की
की
जय।
जय जय।
जय
हरे
स्वामी
कृष्णा
प्रभु
प्रभु जी।
Thank you,
जय
Prabhuji. Koti Koti
जी
Vaishnava.
जय,
Hare
हरे
Krishna.
कृष्ण,
Thank
वेरी
you.
गुड,
गिरिराज
Sarvana.
देव
वंडरफुल
की
क्लास
पसनियों
मैम,
प्रयोग।
so inspiring.